Today's bold chapter is not just about a con man. It's about the man who orchestrated the most elegant scam in modern history. He sold the Eiffel Tower. Then, he sold it again. And that wasn't even his best work. This is the story of Viktor Lustig, an elegant liar, a master manipulator, and the man who turned charm into currency. From the gilded salons of Paris to the smoke-filled offices of New York, his genius wasn't in stealing. It was in making people hand him their trust and their money. But before we dive into the man, we need to understand the time that shaped him. Every life is a story, but some are unbelievable. This is Bold Chapter. Chapter 1. The Age of the Con. The early 20th century was an age of reinvention. The world had just survived World War I. Nations were rebuilding, empires were falling, and in the shadows of that chaos, new kinds of predators were born. There were no smartphones, no digital records, just confidence, paper, and a sharp suit. Paris in 1920s was a playground for aristocrats, artists, and opportunists. If you spoke the right language, wore the right hat, and told the right story, people believed you. It wasn't about truth, it was about performance. And Viktor Lustig, he was born for the stage. Chapter 2. The Birth of a Con Man. Viktor Lustig was born in 1890 in Hostine, a small town in what was then Austria-Hungary. Fluent in 5 languages, educated, polished. He was everything a successful European gentleman appeared to be. He wasn't. But appearances were his weapon. His first schemes took place aboard transatlantic cruise ships. He posed as a count, played cards with the wealthy. His trick? Stage a few easy wins, gain trust, then raise the stakes. By the time the boat docked, he had their money. And they had nothing, except embarrassment. No police reports, no lawsuits, just silence. Because no one wants to admit they got fooled, especially the rich. Lustig didn't just lie. He built worlds people wanted to believe in. Chapter 3. Selling the Eiffel Tower. It was 1925. France was still recovering from the war. Public infrastructure was crumbling. Budgets were tight. Lustig read a news article mentioning the Eiffel Tower's rising maintenance costs. That one article gave him the seed for his most audacious con. He forged a letterhead from the French Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs, rented a private suite at the Hôtel de Crillon, one of Paris's most exclusive hotels, then invited 5 of the city's top scrap metal dealers to a confidential government meeting. He told them the tower was going to be dismantled, but the public couldn't know, not yet. One dealer, André Poisson, took the bait, but he was unsure, skeptical. So Lustig did something brilliant. He pretended not to want a bribe. That hesitation, that ethical resistance, it made Poisson trust him even more. Eventually, Poisson offered a bribe to secure the deal. Lustig accepted, took the cash, and vanished from France. Chapter 4. He did it again. A few weeks later, Lustig came back to Paris. Yes, he tried to sell the Eiffel Tower a second time. He ran the same play, new dealers, same hotel, same forged documents. But this time, one of the scrap men got suspicious. He contacted the police. Lustig caught wind and escaped again, just in time. Though the second deal didn't close, the attempt made him a legend. Because anyone can scam once. Only a master tries again. Hey, you're here for bold stories, and we've got plenty more coming. Smash that like button, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and drop a comment to tell us what hit you hardest in this episode. And if you want to ride with us all the way to the top, subscribe right now. Let's make this the fastest growing channel of 2025. It's a community, and you're part of it. Chapter 5. The Money-Making Machine. Lustig eventually moved to the United States. There, he introduced a new product, The Romanian box, a machine that could duplicate real 100 bills. The box was real, crafted from mahogany and brass, with mechanical gears and slots. Inside, just a delay mechanism and a few real bills. The setup, he'd insert a $100 bill, wait 6 hours, another would appear, he'd repeat the trick. And the victim, convinced it worked, would pay thousands for the device. Some paid as much as $30,000. By the time they figured it out, Lustig was already in another city, selling another lie. Chapter 6. Fooling Al Capone. You'd think someone like Viktor Lustig would avoid mobsters, but he didn't. He walked straight into the lion's den. He approached Al Capone with a business proposition. Capone gave him $50,000 to hold while the deal was set up. Lustig didn't invest it. He hid it in a locker. 2 months later, he returned, said the deal failed, and returned the full $50,000. Capone, impressed by Lustig's honesty, gave him a $5,000 tip. That tip? That was the actual con. Lustig tricked the most feared man in America by pretending not to trick him. Chapter 7. The Fall. By the 1930s, the US Secret Service had had enough. They tracked Lustig for years, counterfeiting, fraud, theft. He was finally arrested in New York, caught with printing plates and fake notes. He escaped once by jumping from a moving train. But in 1935, they caught him again. He was sentenced to 20 years in Alcatraz. When asked for his profession, he wrote, "Salesman." He died behind bars in 1947. Chapter 8. The 10 Commandments of a Con Man. Before his arrest, Lustig once wrote down his personal rules for pulling off the perfect scam. Among them, be a good listener and never look bored. Wait for the other person to reveal their weaknesses. Never boast. Just let your target assume you're important. And finally, be patient. The best lies are the ones they tell themselves. It wasn't just charm, it was craft. A science of seduction without violence. He didn't sell products, he sold possibility. Another chapter closed, but the story is far from over. Subscribe to Bold Chapter and never miss what's next. The genius of the lie. Viktor Lustig wasn't a thief. He didn't break into homes or banks. He broke into minds. He didn't rob, he convinced. And that's what made him so dangerous. In a world obsessed with status and stories, he learned to weaponize belief. While most people earn trust through actions, Lustig manufactured it like a product, forged it, branded it, sold it, and disappeared. So the next time a story sounds too perfect, ask yourself, who stands to gain from your belief? Because history isn't just written by the winners, it's sold by the con men. This was today's Bold Chapter. If this story stunned you even half as much as it stunned history, subscribe now for more untold truths, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram, because this is just the beginning.